fine, thanks for your concern.
You don't look fine. You look off colour. Kind of pale.
The fuck?!
As I was saying, you look pale.
Maybe that's because you drive like a dick.
Just don't embarrass me again tonight. Who do I have to fuck to get one of those?
Mitchell, we need your special talents over here. Make yourself useful, get the man a coffee. Black, 2 sugars.
A large one, darling. I really need to get one of those.
Thought you already had one.
Oh, you're joking. Her coffee tastes like shit.
Constable? No coffee, thanks. We've got work to do. Who called it in?
Security guard. Found the body doing his rounds.
He looks pretty shaken up.
Not surprising. You wait till you see it. Where's that bloody generator? Sorry, we're still getting set up here. We've got no power.
Where's the body?
Cellar. Down the steps, follow your nose. You're gonna need these.
You're in for a treat.
Bloody.
Like a menstruating virgin at a gangbang. I'm not sure if it's the worst I ever saw, but it's a contender.
Maybe you should sit this one out. I'll fill you in later.
I'm fine.
The man has a point, you know. Even my stomach turned over when I first saw it. You sure you're up for this?
I said I'm fine.
Whew. Oh, God. Jesus Christ, it's like a taco shop in there.
What do you mean?
It's like maggots everywhere. Oh, man. Yeah, okay, take a look. God, the Met should let me freelance some of these to the National. I don't want to tarry any lord. You sure you want to go in there, Detective?
So immature. I'm absolutely fine.
I mean, we wouldn't know what happened last time, right?
I had stomach flu last time, okay? You all know that.
Have you got stomach flu today?
Oh, let's just do our job.
At least you didn't contaminate the crime scene this time.
So, we've got a serial killer.
You think so? Genius.
Well, it's clearly the same MO as the last one.
I didn't realise you were Amish.
Amish?
Well, don't you own a TV?
What are you talking about?
Because even if you never had to learn police work like the rest of us plebs, anybody with a TV knows it takes 3 bodies to make a serial killer.
You know what I'm saying? You're just being pedantic.
Pedantic. And here's me thinking that pedanticness is the most important attribute of being a competent detective.
Just tell me what we have.
At a guess, I'd say he's been here 5 or 6 weeks. I wouldn't touch that.
Forensics?
Leptospirosis. Rat piss. This place is infested.
Right, so, he was killed, what, a month before the other one?
No shit, Sherlock.
This work is much cruder than the first one. The other one was more controlled, neater. Looked almost surgical to me.
Practice makes perfect.
Have you noticed the most obvious difference here? Come on, detective, you can do it.
The numbers.
What?
The numbers on the wall.
What are you talking about?
The dates on the wall. They're different from the other scene.
No, the body.
Has he removed the heart from this one as well?
Hard to tell before the autopsy. He's too far gone.
There's blood around the head of this one.
It's not inconsistent with having your guts ripped out. We're gonna be here all night, put her out of her misery.
Unlike the previous victim, this one hasn't been restrained.
Drugged.
I hope so.
We'll run the usual pathology tests, but given the state of the body, we might never find out for certain.
So do you think he was alive when he was cut open?
It's possible.
Ready for your close-up?
It's a coincidence. My wife's cooking ribs tonight.
Give it a rest, Perkins. So, similarities. Both male, both IC1, both late 20s, same height, both athletic, both locations had the same satanic markings.
Satanic. Like the Pope flexing his pecs to me.
You're telling me that doesn't look like a cock?
You must have one weird-looking cock.
Don't act like you don't know what his cock looks like.
Guys, focus. Jesus. This means we're most likely dealing with the same perpetrator. Victim 1, the heart was removed.
From the victim or the murder scene?
Both, actually. The assumption is it's the same with victim 2, but we're still awaiting the autopsy for confirmation.
And where was the first victim found?
At home, in the basement.
Nice surprise for his poor old cleaning lady when she went in and found the body.
Any murder weapon?
It looks like the killer used surgical tools. Bone saw, scalpel.
So maybe he was a doctor.
Jack the Ripper was a doctor.
Jack the Ripper was a lord. Aristocracy.
Jack the Ripper was a barber.
A barber. Oh, that was Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd? Not a complete retard. Aaron Kosminski, Polish barber. DNA evidence proves he was Jack the Ripper.
Enough! If anybody mentions Jack the Ripper again, especially outside this room, they're suspended. The last thing we need is for the press to blow this out of proportion and get us swamped with mentally ill people making false confessions.
Occupations?
Victim 1 was a doctor. He spent the last 3 years saving the world. Volunteer medic in the back of beyond, Central America. He had only been back in the country a couple of weeks.
Welcome home.
Victim 2 had only been in the country for 2 months, too.
Any sexual assault?
Not from the first victim, but again awaiting autopsy on victim 2.
Maybe the killer's homophobic.
We don't know that the second victim was gay.
Oh, come on. What straight guy ever spent that much time in the gym?
Well, that's one thing you can establish when you interview all known associates.
Are we going to find anything useful in this file, or is it just another bunch of dead leads?
Oh, you've learnt to read?
They're not dead, they are leads that are still being investigated, and we have a new one. There was a date on the floor at the first scene. It was scratched into the concrete. For now, we just assumed it was put there by the builders.
And now?
We found this date on the wall last night. See how similar they are?
Do we know what it means?
No, not yet. We only just made the connection.
Well, yeah, and assuming they are dates. I mean, this is not America, you know. So, the cock pope, have you got any idea what it's actually supposed to be?
Sigil of Beelzebub. Voodoo mumbo-jumbo.
And what about the Circle of Salt?
It's a barrier against dark forces. Voodoo mumbo-jumbo.
Psychological profile.
He's a nutter.
There is a full profile report in the file.
Forensics.
File.
Nothing so far. He's either very careful or very lucky.
And what about the second scene?
File.
Nothing as yet, but it was 2 months old. Rats had been at the body, so Let's manage our expectations on finding anything useful there.
And we're definitely sure this is the same guy.
For God's sake, look, Inspector, we've got everything covered. Do we really need Laurel and Hardy here getting in the way of the investigation?
If we had everything covered, we wouldn't have another murder victim.
Fuck off.
Oh, the glory I'm getting pissed off that the professionals are muscling in on his first real serial killer.
It's not a serial killer. There are only 2 bodies.
Actually, that's a common misconception propagated by lazy American TV shows. The official definition is 2 or more killings separated by a cooling-off period.
Enough! We're a team, so let's act like one. Look into the numbers scratched on the wall. Find out what he's trying to tell us. Victim 2, all known associates. Find out who had access to the building.
So how long have you worked at the site?
5 months.
What do you do?
I am the security guard.
Yes, but what does that entail exactly?
I sit in a booth from 8 in the evening till 8 in the morning. And once every hour, I walk around with a torch so people see that I am there.
What do you do the rest of the time?
I like to read about astronomy.
So you work nights? Any day shifts?
That is Simon. We play chess, 1 move a day. We're still on our first game.
Just the 2 of you?
Yes.
And what about your days off?
I can't afford days off.
Why did it take 5 weeks to find the body?
We don't patrol inside the factory. It is derelict, locked up. You were there.
So why'd you go in last night, then?
I heard a noise.
What kind of noise?
A strange noise. Scraping.
Scraping.
Sometimes you hear noises. Sometimes rats, sometimes foxes. Sometimes your mind playing tricks.
So why did you choose to investigate this particular noise?
It was a loud noise. Like nothing before. Like pipes scraping on the floor. Maybe like someone stealing scrap metal. So I have a look. This is my job.
And what did you see?
Sight from hell. Same as you.
Did you touch the body?
Of course I did not touch the body. I got out and called you straight away.
Did you see the markings? The witchcraft? Symbols on the walls?
Where I'm from, even Lusaka, witchcraft is an everyday thing. You see the pastor on Sunday, you see the witch doctor on Wednesday. I've seen witchcraft, good and bad. And I tell you now, sir, that was not witchcraft.
Where can we find your chess opponent?
That is some crazy Satan shit right there.
How do you know the details of the murder scene?
Tony told me. He sent me home from work. The pigs, police, have it all cornered off. You better bloody well pay me for today as well, the tight bastard.
Who's Tony?
I feel really bad about this. Really bad. It's terrible.
Why do you feel terrible?
Because it doesn't look good for a security company if the site that they're guarding becomes the scene of some kind of ritual killing.
I guess it doesn't.
We could lose a lot of business over this. And bad for the victim, of course. I'm so sorry. I haven't offered you any refreshments. Would you care for a cup of tea?
I'm fine, thank you.
Do you have any coffee?
Sorry, I'm gonna have to make it. We're not that type of setup that can afford assistance. Or coffee machines. How do you take it?
Black, 2 sugars.
So who exactly has access to the site?
Just Femi and Simon.
And you, obviously.
Well, yes, and me.
And what about holiday cover?
But no one's gone on holiday for the past 4 months. It's just Simon and Femi, that's it.
So they've worked 12-hour shifts 7 days a week for the past 4 months, no time off?
0-hour contracts. It's perfectly legal. It's the only thing that's kept us afloat since the economy crashed.
Why no security cameras?
No point. It's a derelict site. Plus, we'd be doing ourselves out of a job.
So what you're saying is we have a murder in a locked-up site that only 3 people have access to?
Well, we 3. And the owners, of course.
I thought you owned it.
You're joking, aren't you? We just do security. If I was some sort of millionaire property baron, do you think I'd be drinking this shit?
So who does own it?
Sanderson Law, please.
Do you have an appointment?
"47 floors. How high is that in meters? Although, to be honest, I prefer the cable to break than get trapped in there and slowly starve to death. Although you buy me a few weeks.
Hello?
Susan from Straub here. Bad news about the sale.
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Tiny little hiccup. Your buyers have pulled out.
But how can they pull out now? We've signed the contract. We complete on Friday.
These things happen all the time. They said their loan fell through and...
I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. You told me they were cash buyers.
Oh, there was a chain involved.
Yeah, well, then you misled me.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We care about your
I
experience.
can't talk about this right now.
We'll sort it out.
Yeah.
So, should I put it back on the market?
Yeah. Well, what choice do I have?
Don't worry, Miss Faraway. Everything's going to be fine.
Okay.
Call you later?
Yep.
After work?
Put it back on the market.
We've got it under control. It's a
Thank
hot
you.
market and we'll have that house sold
Yep.
before you even notice.
Bye.
What was that about?
None of your business.
Detectives, Vera Mason, property portfolio manager. How can I be of assistance?
We're here to talk about Kingley Street.
Quite. Let's go somewhere a little more private. Please, take a seat. Could I tempt you with a coffee?
No, thank you.
Our chef roasts the beans himself.
We have a lot of work to do, so we'll just ask you a few questions and then be on our way. So how long have you owned Kingley Street?
We acquired it back on June 16th last year, so nearly 10 months ago.
And why did you purchase it?
Because we invest in property.
How often do you visit the site?
Not often at all.
When did you last visit?
Me, personally? Never. Well, not since we completed the purchase last year. There's no reason for me to go there.
So other than yourself, who else has access to the site?
Well, everybody. The keys aren't locked away.
And I assume you have some sort of system to record who takes them.
Site visit log. Everything's automated, fairly standard.
Well, can we see it?
Sure. I guess so. I'll just have to check that with my...
So, you've finally taken my job.
Still working on that. No, this was an unscheduled visit. All the boardrooms were occupied. This is Mr. Sweet, our partner in charge. These are detectives...
Faraway and Smith.
Detectives? Don't worry, I can provide the alibi. She was with me all night.
In your dreams.
We're here to talk about Kingley Street.
Of course you are. I heard about that. Awful.
We were just requesting access to your site visit log.
Access granted. Vera will arrange that right away. Detectives, my office is entirely at your disposal.
How is it my fault? The buyer dropped out.
All the contracts are signed.
That's what I thought too. But you know what? Shit happens. But I'm the one dealing with the estate agent.
I mean,
Hold on. Excuse me, I have a prescription.
What have you done?
I said hold on.
Oh, this is expired.
Move on with my life.
Well, it's out of date.
I have things
You need to go see your doctor and have it renewed.
But it's a repeat prescription.
Yeah, and it's expired.
What have you done?
Oh, yeah, can I help?
Hello?
Look, it's not like you can get high off these things. What's the big deal?
It's called the law.
You're not trying to get back together. I mean, is this a
I am the law.
trying to have me
Well, then why are you trying to get me to commit a crime?
Can you hear me?
Look, okay. Things at my work are really hard. I really need these pills.
Steve?
You're really useless at this sort of stuff. I mean, I don't
Well, can you come out here, Steve?
If you think you could do a better job, then you call the estate agent yourself. Yeah? Take responsibility for something once in your stupid...
Can't I just have a tea, babe?
Excuse me. Thanks.
Hello? Look, are you listening?
This is expired.
Oh, Jesus. Just give me the pills, will you?
Why didn't you just tell her to go and get it renewed?
I can't deal with this right now. Wanker.
Excuse me?
Sorry, not you. That was my ex.
Don't blame him.
This crazy fucker's building some kind of Frankenstein's monster.
While he's making a pie.
Oh, that's an interesting theory. You got an alibi for last night?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Was at home all night eating. How your ex-wife? Too soon. Well, it rules out the homophobic theory.
What are you talking about?
That's not one of them ladyboys.
Well, you'd be the expert.
So this was done last night.
Yes, the core's still warm. First signs of rigour.
So we can rule out the date theory then, too.
Bit late for a last rites. Oh, prepare to be impressed. Shit. There's not enough chapters, damn it. Just wait, let me check the Old Testament.
Cause of death?
She's got no eyes.
Yeah, I can see that. Surely eye removal wouldn't lead to this much bleeding. Eh, Faraway?
Epistaxis. The mother of all nosebleeds. Besides that, and the eyes, no other signs of physical trauma.
Can you die from a nosebleed?
It's rare, but it happens.
The wrists aren't bad. Do you think you'll have more luck with toxicology this time?
Fresh body. We should know if she was drugged or not.
Yes. Isaiah 28:11. For with stammering lips and another tongue, he will speak to the people. I'm a genius. They're all verses about speaking in tongues.
No shit.
I told you, fuckwits, it wasn't a date. Chapter, verse, book number. Our guy's an evangelical Christian.
Don't look very evangelical to me.
Excellent police work, Detective. You've narrowed our list down to everybody in the country who has access to a Bible, you fucking dickhead. Who called it in? Well, isn't this a coincidence?
Yeah. I'm screwed now, aren't I?
How so?
Well, I was talking with my accountant about selling up and moving to Cyprus. No capital gains tax. Thinking of blowing this shithole and having a happy retirement in the sun.
So what's the problem?
Well, who the hell is going to buy the Ripper's favourite incompetent security firm? I'm ruined. I'm already struggling to keep hold of those contracts ever since that Kingley Street thing was in the papers.
Why did you arrive on site before we did? You found a body, yeah?
Yeah.
So why didn't you call us?
Well, he's the boss.
You get around, don't you?
We do all the security for Sanderson Lyle sites.
Sanderson Lyle? They get around a bit too.
How long's he been your boss? Have you got access to Kingley Street?
Oh, no. This is my first day. I'm from the temp agency.
That is an eventful first day.
Yeah, and my last.
So you called Mr. Dwyer?
Oh, look, I'm sorry. I didn't think. I was straight over here. I called 999 as soon as I saw the body.
Did you touch it?
Of course I didn't.
We'll see.